everyone. Welcome into the Coach KJ Carousel Dynasty. Today, we have the college football playoff. First up's Alabama, Penn State, and then TCU, Ohio State. Let's see who wins the first one. Penn State, Ohio State. It's going to be a Penn State victory. They dominated them, it looks like. I would not have expected that at all coming into this. 37-19. This game wasn't close. Bama got blown out. They were the number one seed. They did have one loss on the season, but man, that was shocking, and we beat them. We were the one to beat them, but I didn't expect that. Let's move on to our next one. Ohio State, TCU, and that's going to be an Ohio State victory. And you got to give TCU credit. They tried to come back in the fourth quarter, but they didn't have enough time to do it. So it's going to be an Ohio State, Penn State Big Ten matchup for the national championship. And of course, since I coached at Penn State prior to heading to Florida, I got to pull for Penn State in this one as the 4 seed. They did lose to Ohio State earlier in the season, so this is going to be a chance to get revenge against the Buckeyes. The game's going to be held at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, one of my favorite stadiums. I'm a Patriots fan and a Bucks fan because I'm a Bucks season ticket holder, so I love that stadium. Looking at this, they have a couple injuries heading in. That's Penn State we're talking about. They're going to be missing Brown at halfback. He's not their starter. He is their number 2. But the big one's Avery DeWalt on Dijo. He's a player I recruited to Penn State. He's their top receiver. He's a fantastic player on this team. He's going to be out for the game, and that's a big loss for the passing offense as their quarterback coming in is going to be Tyler Charpentier. He's a quarterback that, once again, I recruited to Penn State during my time there. He's a really good passer, but he's not nearly as mobile as many of the other quarterbacks in college, so he relies on the passing game, so him missing his top weapons really going to be bad for the Nittany Lions as they open up by throwing it underneath to Khalil Dinkins for a 6-yard reception. If you've never seen one of my national championship coverage games before, we're going to show the first possession for each team, then we're going to jump all the way to the fourth quarter, and then from there, we're going to jump in and watch the conclusion of the game. I just don't have time to show it all off. I don't think people are that interested in it anyway, as Charpentier hits Khalil Dinkins for a first down. Looking to pass again. Like you can see, they love to pass the ball, even though it's a torrential downpour in Florida, which isn't always common in January, let me just tell you. But Charpentier goes for 5 on a rush. Like I said, he's not the best athlete in the world. They throw a screen out there. That's going to be Liam Clifford getting the reception. However, there is a flag on the play, so we're going to have to see what they call. And that's going to be holding on the offense. So that's going to back them up, and they're going to end up having to replay third down, this time from about 9 yards away as the penalty was on Amari Evans. Charpentier looking to pass as he has to in this situation. He might get the first down. This is close. They're going to call it 4th and 1. Bryson Collier came up a yard short. So that means Penn State's just going to punt the ball back. In that situation, you've got to go for it. I can't figure out why they didn't. However, that was a very nice punt by a punter we recruited to Penn State. So I'm going to take a little bit of credit for that as Kyle McCord in the offense takes over for Ohio State. He's forced to throw that away quickly. He had a really, really good season for the Buckeyes that culminated in a Heisman Trophy victory for Kyle McCord. If that happened in real life, Buckeyes fans would go crazy because they're not a fan of him right now. But in the game, he gets a Heisman, so you got to be proud of him as he's fighting to win a national championship here. And he throws it underneath, and they might just convert that. They do. That's Kyon Graves getting 6 yards and converting for the Buckeyes. They haven't really run the ball much. It looks like this situation's probably going to be a run as McCord gets hit and loses 4. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 14. Now in the pistol, handing it off, this time on a straight run. That's a pretty good carry by Evan Pryor for 7 yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Kyle McCord's shown the ability to pass, so let's see if they can convert it here. He's moving in the pocket. He's going to take a deep shot here. He throws it up, and that should have been intercepted by Zakee Wheatley, a player for the Penn State Nittany Lions. That means the Buckeyes drive's also going to end in a punt. Neither one of them went 3 and out, but both of them turned the ball over back to the opposing offense pretty quickly in this game, as now we're going to get ready to start simming. However, I have to run a play as the offense, so Katron Allen gets a carry, and look at this, man. He's going to go for a touchdown. I didn't want to have any impact on this game, but unfortunately, when I switch from watching to simming, I have to control a team. So that's a touchdown for the Nittany Lions. They're going to take a 7-0 lead in this game. However, the Buckeyes answer quickly, so it's not going to have a big impact here. The first quarter ends with a 7-7 tie. Now let's see what happens in the second quarter. So far, it looks like Penn State's back on top 10-7. Then they go up 17-7. They're putting their foot down. However, Buckeyes answer. It's 24-14 as we head into halftime. It's a 10-point lead for the Nittany Lions. They got to feel pretty good opening up the second half. However, Penn State can't stop Ohio State, and they answer, making it 24-21 at the end of 3. 1 quarter to go. It's a 3-point ball game. Let's go to the end of the possession, which results in the Buckeyes taking a 28-24 lead. Now we're going to jump back into this one and see if Tyler Charpentier can lead the Nittany Lions down to take the lead in this one. As it's 1st and 10, Charpentier is looking to pass, standing in the pocket, and he fires and finds an open receiver for another first down. Bryson Collier goes for 13 on that one. So they're going to send Liam Clifford in motion, and it looks like they're going to hand it to him. He was not the right guy to give that carry to. He should have cut it inside anyway. I don't know why he kept trying to get to the outside edge. He does not have the speed for that. So 2nd and 13 following that loss. Charpentier looks like he's throwing it away, but that's actually a completion to Collier, who fumbles. But I think they're going to say he went out of bounds, or the player who recovered went out of bounds while touching the ball, because it remains Penn State's ball. So Charpentier throws it underneath, and that's Jared Walters going, but it's going to be 4th and inches. What will the Nittany Lions do? Well, they're going to go for it. It's about time. Looking to throw Charpentier, and he has the first down, but that's dropped, man. You can't have that. Ohio State gets lucky and gets the ball back. Now let's see if Kyle McCord can give him a 2-score lead. He takes it on a read option. That didn't go far. So they come out on 2nd down in the gun, and they throw a quick little screen out there. That one doesn't work at all. Penn State blew it up, backing Ohio State up to a 3rd and 11, and Kyle McCord, the Heisman winner, is just going to throw a screen. Let's see if Evan Pryor can convert it. He does not. He only picks up 1 yard. So that means the Nittany Lions are going to get another chance to try to retake the lead in this game and get control back as they go to Katron Allen for a 1-yard loss. Once again, I don't know why they're trying to go edge to edge. Go north and south. It's the quickest way forward. They throw a screen, and that one's to Liam Clifford, who breaks a couple tackles, but only ends up picking up 3. So it's 3rd and 8. Penn State's already in danger of going 3 and out. Let's see what Tyler Charpentier can do. He's going to throw a screen out there to Katron Allen, who's blown up for no gain. What a play by this Ohio State Buckeyes defense. They're going to get their offense the ball back while still leading by 4. Kyle McCord tries to tuck and run. He ends up getting sacked for a 3-yard loss by Braden Tucker, though. So 2nd and 13, they hand it off, and Evan Pryor busts through. He's out across midfield down to about the 47-yard line. That gives Ohio State the chance to start draining the clock as they get a fresh set of downs, and McCord is going to run triple option, and he's going to go for a solid 9-yard rush. He's not much of a scrambler, but that's a great play for the Buckeyes as they're down to 2.5 minutes left, and they get the pitch out there on the edge, and that is going to be a first down as Dallin Hayden stays in bounds, converts it for the Buckeyes. We're down to 2 minutes left. Penn State's going to have to start using their timeouts as McCord gets blown up and loses 3. James Franklin uses his first timeout here. So, minute 56 left. They hand it off. Evan Pryor up the middle. That's going to be a pickup of 6. Another timeout by James Franklin. They need to stop here on 3rd down. McCord looking to pass. He needs a conversion. He throws it underneath and incomplete. Penn State's going to get the stop. They still have 1 timeout remaining. They have a chance, possibly. Now Ohio State lines up for the field goal. That's a 50-yarder. It's up and good. Ohio State drills it. Nittany Lions now need a touchdown on this drive in order to tie it up and send it to overtime. As why did they hand that off to Katron Allen on 1st down? Just to spike it on 2nd down. It's 3rd and 12 already. That was dumb by James Franklin. That's why he's not a great head coach as Charpentier misses, backing the Nittany Lions up to a 4th and 12, and Charpentier throws and misfires. This game's over. Ohio State's gonna win the Natty. They take a knee with Kyle McCord, the Heisman champion, gets Ryan Day a national championship. What a day for the Buckeyes. As a Nittany Lion fan in this universe, I'm sad to see it end like this. They had opportunities, but James Franklin messed it up. Honestly, I'm not that shocked. In real life, he's not a great coach. He's a good coach. He's just not a great coach. He doesn't beat the teams that are better than him. That's just how it works, and that's how it worked in this universe. He has a really, really good team, but the Buckeyes were just a little bit better, and they captured the national title to end our season here in the Coach KJ dynasty. Evan Pryor ended up being your player of the game with 36 carries for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also added some receiving yards and stats. He had a fantastic day as Ryan Day gets the crystal ball, which isn't accurate. They actually have the CFP trophy, but hey, that's not in the game, so this is the trophy he's going to hold up. Congrats to the Buckeyes on winning the national championship here in the Coach KJ dynasty. Looking at stats, Kyle McCord was great, 61% completion percentage, 298 yards and 2 scores. He's a senior redshirt who won a bunch of awards this year, and he's 99 overall. He's going to be gone from this file, so we'll have to see how the Buckeyes can recover. Looking at their receiving stats, Evan Pryor actually led their team with 6 for 86 and a touchdown. I gotta give him his credit, man. He was fantastic in this game. He went for almost 300 total yards, and he had 3 scores, man. He was the difference in this game. I don't think it was Kyle McCord, so that's pretty impressive. And as long as he doesn't declare, he could be back for the Buckeyes next season. Looking at their defense, they had a really good day, and Styles had an interception. Now looking at Nittany Lions, Charpentier had 352 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He hit 62% of his passes. Now looking at the ground game, Katron Allen went 16 for 83 with a score. Charpentier added 40 on the ground, which is quite impressive for him. Looking at through the air, it was Liam Clifford with 6 for 112. He didn't score. Caden Saunders went 3 for 46 with a score, and Omari Evans went 3 for 81 with a score. They're pretty good players there. So looking at their defense, Durant led them with 9 tackles, followed by Blue, Tucker, Flowers, Dennis, Sutton, Clark, and Johnson. TFLs, man, Durant had 4 of them. That's absolutely insane. Along with Tucker. Dennis Sutton added 3, 2 for Demas, which is pretty good, and then 2 sacks for Tucker, 1 for Durant, and then they didn't have any interceptions, of course. This is your final college football playoff bracket look, and you can see Ohio State wins it all 31-24 at Raymond James Stadium. Alabama, the 1 seed, went down along with TCU in the first round, and it was 3-4 duking it out, and it looks like number 3 won it. Now taking a look at our top 25 standings in the coaches poll to finish the season. 1 is Ohio State, 2 is Alabama, 3 is Penn State, 4 is Oregon, 5 is Florida, 6 is TCU, 7 is Oklahoma State, 8 is Texas A&M, 9 North Carolina, 10 Northwestern, 11 is Mid-Tennessee State, who did lose their bowl game, 12 is Washington, 13 is West Virginia, then you have Georgia, Oklahoma, UCLA, Toledo, USC, Syracuse, Boise State, Auburn, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, La Tech, and Ohio rounding out the top 25. Michigan just missed the ranking along with Air Force and Stanford. Looking at your passing leaders, it was Matt Hayes of TCU with the most yards around the NCAA with 4,016. We're going to keep showing the rest of these stats. However, I'm going to talk about different parts of the Dynasty file while we show them off, so that way you can see who it is and see where everybody ranks. But I want to hit a few storylines, talk a little bit of things through with you. I don't want to just name a bunch of people around our Dynasty. I just like to show off all the stats from around it, so that way you guys can see it and we have a good record of it looking back in the future. But the first thing I want to talk about is our quarterback situation for next season. We do have Khalif Raymond coming in and Emmanuel Antoine coming in, and as you know, Antoine's a bit of a bust. He's only like a 65 overall. We revealed that in our recruiting episode. You also have, like I said, Khalif Raymond, who's more of a pocket passer like Dana Garcia, but he's only a 78 overall, and Dana Garcia has a really good overall right now as a true freshman. My biggest concern is neither one of them have the strongest arm. It's into like the low to mid 80s, which is playable in college football revamped, but I don't love it. I would wish they had better arms. They're pocket passers though, so they both lack mobility, and I am concerned that Garcia may leave. Now, we did lose Jordan O'Neal, the number 1 recruit at quarterback from last season. He's transferring, he's gone. Regardless of whether he wants to or not, I'm going to move on from him because it just matches for storyline purposes. The number 1 recruit's not going to be okay with being the 3rd string behind another freshman, so he's transferring. But if Dana Garcia wants to transfer, I'm also not going to keep him because it is just the way I run things. If a player wants to transfer, I let him leave even though I don't want him to necessarily. So I'm hoping he doesn't choose to transfer in the offseason because he was the backup. He is next in line to take over, and Jack Barola is leaving, but we'll have to wait and see. I hope he doesn't go, but we've at least talked him, I think, into staying. Now, looking around at the rest of the quarterback position, we also have Earl Brown II, who has been on the team. He didn't play this year, so he's going to end up with a red shirt. He is a bit more mobile. He lacks accuracy. However, he has the strongest arm that is going to be on the team right now. Unless I find somebody else in the offseason to commit to us, he's going to have the strongest arm on the team, and he has mobility. So there is something to like about that, and it makes me debate maybe letting him play depending on how it goes. I am going to do a battle in the preseason, though. I'm going to just play some practice. I'll probably put out a little bit of a hype video, and then we'll see who the starter is. Garcia makes the most sense because of his overall, but I really struggle with pocket passers at times. So it may end up being Earl Brown II right from the jump, even though he doesn't have the best overall. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Now, taking a look at our halfback position, I don't expect a whole lot of changes there. We have Denzel Hudson, who's going to transfer away. He got passed over on depth chart. He's a junior. It just makes sense. He's leaving the Gators. That's really it, though, at halfback. Everybody else should be back unless Guy S.C. Blanks decides to transfer because he didn't start for us. Looking at receiver, there's a lot of turnover happening there. That's a position that's going to have to be completely rebuilt in the offseason. Basically, it all depends on what Emmanuel Henderson decides to do on whether he declares for the draft or not. If he does, we're in trouble, honestly. We're going to have 3 new starters at the top of our depth chart and not a lot of players that have played a ton stepping in, so we'll have to see how that works out. Our tight end position, I don't expect really any changes there, except for maybe adding a recruit in to hopefully strengthen us just a little bit. Looking across the O-line, we're going to have a new right tackle in Austin Barber. You know, he was good, and he graduated, so we can't keep him. Looking at left tackle, we had a true freshman playing, and honestly, I expect the true freshman to play at this point in time. Again, next season as a sophomore. Looking at guard now, there is a probability one of the 2 guards we had starting last year is going to end up on the bench for next season, depending upon how development goes, because of the recruit we have coming in that's really, really good. So we're going to have 1 new guard probably in center. I don't know, Caleb Kirbyson could actually go pro. I don't think he will, but if he decides to, he's gone. So hopefully he doesn't, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. And that's basically it for the offense. Now, taking a look at our defense, there are going to be some changes there as well. Defensive end Justice Boone, he's gone to the league. We're going to miss him. He was quite the impact player for us. I expect JJ White to flip over to that side. Seth Harden may enter his name into the portal. I'm a little worried about that one, just because he's such a high overall and he didn't play. We'll have to see what happens there. But if he doesn't, he'll step in and fill in along with JJ White. But if he does, we have Norkeithius Moore, who is committed to the Gators, that will step in and play. And he may even play depending upon how Harden develops anyway. So that's kind of a little bit of a position battle for the offseason there. And then looking at D-tackle, Chris McClellan's somebody I'm really worried about deciding to go to the NFL. He is a very good overall. He's a very good player. And I wouldn't be shocked if he did it. I just hope he doesn't. We do have depth, though, at D-tackle, so I think we'll be okay if he does. Other guys will be able to step up, like Stuart McCaffrey. I think he could make a pretty good number 1 D-tackle, so I think we'll be all right there. Looking at linebacker, that position's about to be ravaged. We are losing Scooby Williams and Shamar James both to the NFL after this season, and they are really important players to our defense, so that's going to be a big loss, and we don't have a whole lot of depth currently on the roster. We do have some good recruits coming in, though, and then safety's another position to look out for, as we are losing both of our safeties currently to the draft. So that's going to be a big thing to look at in the offseason. I'm LDJ11 though. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more of the Coach KJ Carousel Dynasty. Have a great day, and I'm out.
We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring.